I thought you said you didn't have any family in town.
I don't have any family here, but he's coming over. Okay.
You're looking for your bag. It's on your left side, and you're looking in the back seat, trying to see where it's at. So that's where we're at this point. Okay. Can I have you face that way real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have you place your hands behind your back.
Let
me double check where the buckle's at.
When police pulled over Sheyla Marquez for swerving like a shopping cart with a busted wheel, bodycam footage shows Sheyla confidently trying to outsmart the cops with a story that had more plot holes than a soap opera. She denied drinking, but her breath could have powered a brewery tour, and her eyes were doing the Macarena. As the officer questioned her, Sheyla tried to keep it cool, slurring sentences like a karaoke machine with water damage.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Officer Rodriguez, Celestial Police Department. Why are you trying to find a place to go to, or what's going on?
Yeah, so I was kind of...
You keep stopping while you're driving this way. You keep stopping, so I'm wondering what's going on.
I was kind of confused.
Confused? Where are you trying to head to?
223, I'm home.
That's home? Okay. Do you have your driver's license, registration, insurance, please?
Central 978 Walker Drive.
Is this vehicle registered to you, ma'am?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And where are you coming from that you're heading home to Avenida Mesilla?
So I
Central
dropped off my
978 Walker
friend
Drive.
I've been looking because of a... sorry, I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Yeah.
You dropped off your friend? Is it nearby over here?
Yeah.
And you're heading home to Avenida Mesilla?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have your driver's license?
I do.
Central 821 Walker Drive.
Have you ever been pulled over?
No, never.
Where do you usually keep your driver's license?
My bag?
Your bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm really nervous. I've never been pulled over before.
Okay. Nine, 28, 28. She's like Boyd Charles Adam Lincoln 28 break.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be drinking?
I will right now. Yeah, because her eyes are like.
He's really?
Yeah.
And if she's trying to get happening, you didn't see him in the bottom, not anywhere close to that either.
Miss Miramontes, so you told me you were heading to Nevada. But at first you said you're going to Avenida Mesilla.
1146 City, Northport, Breakup 1126.
Was the same as Mesilla.
No, so there's Avenida de Mesilla, and then Nevada's a whole different street.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've had a really rough night with a partner, so...
You had a really rough night with a partner? Okay. What does that mean? Like...
So it means I got broken up with?
Okay. Have you had anything to drink tonight?
No.
No? Have you had any to smoke tonight?
No.
No? Okay. Do you know where you left your friend at? Or what address you left your friend at? Do you know by any chance? Or
I don't.
no? Or what street it was off?
No, so I left my friend at...
821 Central Unit State Traffic.
Do you know where Toad is? They call that 10.
Little Toad Creek?
Yeah.
Okay. And then?
Yeah, and I left them there, and then I came back home.
You left them there and then came back home?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you picked them up again, or
No.
you just dropped them off?
Yeah.
So Little Toad Creek is that way, but you're coming from this
You're
way.
20
Yeah, so I tried to take myself back home at 233 Avenue, and I was listening to music because I was very sad.
Okay.
Getting home, but I haven't really gone back home aside from dropping on my friend Sydney. and then
Okay, so why you if you're on a road, if you're on a straight road, I know there's construction here and stuff, but
yeah.
if you're coming down this road and it's just a straight shot, which is why I pulled you over, why are you continuously stopping and going like 10 miles per hour?
University
Just
of
because
Valley.
I'm
Look at
nervous,
Staples.
like I have never
Try to stop the vehicle.
driven
Something.
through,
Can you confirm that?
I don't know, like I've never driven through here in a construction road.
You've never driven through a construction road?
No, not here, like certainly.
Okay, and you tell me you haven't had anything to drink at all tonight? Okay. Do you have family in town or anything like that? Friends? You don't have friends or anything like that? Okay, give me a second, okay? Miss Miramontes, can you step out for me?
Yeah. Okay. My brother's gonna come here, is that okay?
Your brother's gonna come here? I thought you said you didn't have any family in town.
I don't have any family here, but he's coming over.
So where is he at?
So he's in Roswell.
He's in Roswell? He's coming from Roswell? Okay, yeah, can you step up for me?
Okay.
I broke that.
Okay. Alright. Alright.
You just step to the back of the vehicle, please.
Are you on the phone with someone or are you just trying to call somebody?
No, I'm on the phone with someone.
Who, your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell him to hang out for a little bit so we can talk to you? And
Do I have to?
yes.
I have never been pulled over before in my life.
Okay.
So.
Alright, so right now I have reason to believe that you're possibly under the influence of something. More than likely, what I'm getting from you is maybe you're under the influence of alcohol, is what it is. So are you lying to me, or have you had anything to drink at all? Your eyes are bloodshot. You're stumbling when you get out of the vehicle. You're looking for your bag right next to you on your left side. When I try back, can you hang up the phone?
Can I leave it there?
Yeah, you can leave it right here on the car, but listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're looking for your bag. It's on your left side, and you're looking in the back seat, trying to see where it's at. So that's where we're at this point. Okay. Are you willing to submit to a standard field sobriety test?
Yes.
Okay. We're not doing. I'm not speaking to you, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up.
Okay.
No, that's what we're doing.
Even though that's my brother, and I
Yeah, I'm
choose
talking to you.
have
He's
him.
not here. I know you're nervous, but also there was also a motorcycle right in front of you. He was turning westbound this way. As he was right in front of me, we were both turning this way. As soon as he took off and you were going to take that right turn in front of the CVS, you almost hit him. And you failed to yield because he had the green light arrow to turn westbound.
Yeah.
So you failed to yield on him too. So I was looking at you, looking at your behavior, your driving behavior, not only prior to the construction, there's another infraction that we had there. Okay, so that's why I kept my eye on you and stuff. Are you willing to submit to standard fit sobriety test?
No.
You're not?
So I'm very nervous.
Okay, and I
I've
understand.
never been pulled over in my life before.
Okay, and I understand
And-
that. Like I said, I'm explaining to you where we're at right now.
Okay.
Based on your driving behavior, the infractions we have at the time, your behavior in the vehicle as we're speaking to you, okay, that gives me enough based on my observation and the clues I have at this point that you're possibly under the influence of an intoxicating liquor is what I'm determining at this point.
Okay.
So that's why I'm making, to ask you if you're willing to submit to a standard field sobriety test. And are you willing to submit to standard field sobriety test?
Can I have a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
If I were to decline, that wouldn't make me automatically like a suspect to it, I guess.
So that's the question. It's either you submit to standard field sobriety test or you don't. It's
Okay.
just a question I have for you before we continue with anything else.
I'm just nervous. Like, I have never been pulled over before.
Yeah, we get that. We understand. And we take that into account. Let's be
and we're not trying to, obviously, you know, we're not yelling at you. We're not trying to intimidate you. We're trying to make this as an easy as a process. But based on those clues that I have at this point and observing you driving, I mean, it tells me that you're not only because of the infractions that you know, it's almost potentially, you almost hit a motorcycle that turned and you failed to yield. You were behind him on his tail the whole time until he turned into the Shell gas station. But it tells me that you're not able to safely drive or operate a motor vehicle. You know, not just because of the time, but at all on the road. That's, you know, I'm making my observation and the clues you're giving me and the infractions we have at the time, and that's where we're at this point. So, right, I just have to continue with my investigation, and that's where it's heading. So, like I said, I know you're nervous. You know, we're trying to make this as easy as we can for you, but this is where we're at, because obviously I can't let you go back on the road on your way because of your behavior and how you're driving, right? Unsafe driving. So that's the question I had for you. Is you willing to submit to standard field sobriety test?
I would say no.
You would say no?
I would say I am very nervous about this, and I do not feel that specific like time with the motorcycle person didn't really reflect myself as I.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm very cold.
No, that's kind of chilly, but I'm hearing you. Everything's recorded. Later on, if you decide to do whatever, you know, request videos or whatever, you definitely can.
And it feels awful because I've never been pulled over, and it's been a very rough night.
And I was hearing you. That's why I was asking you getting a little bit of information to see like what's going on, anything we can help with. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, these infractions and you're unable to safely operate a motor vehicle on a public road is really a no-no for us, you know. I mean,
I understand 100%, but I am so sorry to explain that I did not feel fully in the sense that I could take care of a motorcycle in front of me, and I am so sorry. But it was not my intention. Like, I've been so all over, and I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So what I'm going to have you do is, can I have you face that way real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have you place your hands behind your back. Okay. You are being placed under arrest for driving under the influence, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, it's just so cold.
And the reason I hung up on your brother, obviously that's why we do it, so no one interferes with our investigation. They're not here. If they were here and they were doing that, they'd probably be placed under arrest as well for doing so. And I don't need someone else answering for you. You're an adult, and that's where we're at right now, okay?
And I'm sorry. I just tried my best to make it the safest I could. I've never been pulled over.
Okay. Like I said, later on, at this point, you are under arrest, okay? We're going to do some paperwork and stuff like that later on, right? Whatever you decide to do, everything's recorded, everything's right, your statement, everything like that. So we'll go from that. At this point, we're being placed under arrest, okay? All right, so I'll have you head this way.
9-5 is not
your purse is in there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to take your wallet with you?
Yeah.
Okay, your wallet, your phone?
My wallet, my phone.
Okay, and there's no one here in town that could take, right, you said your brother lives in Roswell?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so.
No friends or anything that can pick your car up for you?
Alright, sounds good. Give me a second, okay? Yeah, that was a... Alright, Ms. Miramontes, so I'm going to read you the Implied Consent Act real quick. Okay, so just listen to me, right? Listen to me, I'm about to tell you something important. You're under arrest for driving under the influence. The New Mexico Implied Consent Act requires you to submit to a breath test to determine the alcohol content of your blood. After you take our test, you have the right to choose an additional independent test. If you choose to take this additional independent test, you have the right to a reasonable opportunity to arrange for a physician, licensed nurse, laboratory technician, or technologist who is employed by a hospital or physician of your own choice to perform an additional chemical test. The costs of this additional test will be paid by the law enforcement agency. Do you agree to take our breath test? You do agree to take our breath test?
the choice until I go to a more like, I don't know how to.
So that was my question is, do you agree to take our test?
Currently?
Yeah, it's a breath test
Alright,
to determine the alcohol.
I'd rather wait.
Is that a no or a yes?
No.
Okay, so you don't agree to take our test?
No.
Okay, sounds good. Alright, so I cannot force you to take our test, but if you refuse, you will lose your New Mexico driver's license or non-resident operating privilege for 1 year. If you're convicted in court for driving while under the influence, you may also receive a greater sentence because you refuse it to be tested. Do you understand?
Okay, then I will agree.
What does that mean?
I will agree to a blood test.
You want to take a breath test?
Yeah. If that means I will lose my residency card.
So I'll read it again one more time, okay?
Okay.
So you can understand, just listen, okay? I cannot force you to take our test, but if you refuse, you will lose your New Mexico driver's license or non-resident operating privilege for 1 year. If you are convicted in court of driving while under the influence, you may also receive a greater sentence because you refuse to be tested. Do you understand?
I understand. Then I will agree.
You will agree to take a test?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you. I'm going to buckle you in real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to just go around you this way.
Okay.
Let me do a check with a buckle there.
Central 837 Walker.
Sorry. Go ahead. And then you're gonna have a seat for me in this cell. Actually, come over here. I'm sorry. You can go in this one. And then just have a seat for me right here. And I'm gonna put. You're not gonna get crazy on me, are you? No? Okay. I'd put these, but it's like it really eliminates like your movement. But I'll leave you like that. Okay, just don't get stand up and walk around. Okay, sounds good.
Eventually, after more contradictions than a toddler's bedtime excuses, she was arrested for aggravated DUI. Moral of the story: if you're going to lie to a cop, at least make sure your car isn't still doing the cha-cha in the breakdown lane. Also, don't drink and drive.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've had a really rough night with a partner, so...
You had a really rough night with a partner? Okay. What does that mean? Like...